Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Between Two Fans. Once again, I'm your host, Tank, and we have a very special guest today, my wife, Rakaya.
Hi.
And we've been married... Hey, Rakaya, speak up.
Hi.
What? Oh, hello. We've been married for 11 years. We figured that out after 3 tests. What do you want to talk about?
Coffee. We can talk about coffee. This is a maple cream cold brew, and it tastes phenomenal. You're missing out. You got to try it.
We do have a family connection with coffee, and we'll see if they want to be a sponsor of this show.
So this morning, I was blow drying my hair, getting all pretty. We've gotten to this point in our relationship where Chris thinks it's okay, we can pee and poop and do all that fun stuff, fart in front of each other. You're missing out, poop and...
But I'm holding it. Number one hold.
Yeah, you're gonna hold it. Yeah, you're gonna hold it. So he's gonna probably pee his pants just a little bit, but
Triple. Yep.
So he's blow drying my hair. He walks right in, goes to the bathroom. Like, there's no problem. I mean, we get to this point in our relationship, and it's just free flow anytime.
It's not giving a fuck about anything. That's pretty much what it is. We're at the point where we've been through more. Trust me, if you want to cry for help or tell us about pain or financial issue, we've been through everything together, and now we are in a stable environment. We've got a huge fire pit to burn shit. Yeah. Before I burn all the kids' toys, let's talk about my ADHD. Addicted to helping disorder.
Yeah. That's a good topic. We should talk about stuff that's piling up, like kids' toys.
Well, it's tough when you're addicted to helping, and I had to wean off though. It was hard.
That you're not so much into helping anymore.
Yeah, I had to wean off though. It was hard. The helping, the tasks as an adult.
It was hard to stop helping, to not give a care.
I cannot do certain tasks anymore, so I've learned not to do them.
So you're saying that it's okay now, like, in our relationship, that you just don't give a fuck?
Yeah. I've tried an 8-day... I've just gotten medicated, we'll say. For 8 days straight, I did nothing but go from bed to the Beat Lab studio. This is the studio. ADHD.
No, not ADHD. But
I've got MS. A severe case of MS. That's not? I've got a lot of things. PTSD.
He won't... Oh, yeah. He will take out the compost. And I think you have a clip of that. And I think you should play it for everybody. The clip. Yeah. So we now we don't have any snow. Finally, spring's come. But a couple weeks ago, he decided that he was sick of the compost being built up, and he took it upon himself.
I got triggered. So I almost gave up halfway there. It took me an hour.
Hard to walk on. It's not like when it's firm and you can walk on a couple feet of snow. And Chris shouldn't be walking the distance to the compost anyways. Like, he has a hard time. He fumbles. Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny looking back on it, but it's not so funny because, like, he really struggles with these little daily tasks. And so I feel lots of pressure to be that wife that, tries to get everything done. And, I don't know, like, not giving a care.
I have the floor. So, yeah, they've got me on the medicinal marijuana for when I'm in excruciating pain. So that is helping tremendously. But it makes me very, very hyper. But you're in a broken body, so you're hyper, but you're stumbling and falling everywhere. And everything is super heavy. Marijuana use. And how he got off of it, and I'm on it. But it's helpful for me, it's not helpful for certain people. They don't know what helps, so you just gotta figure it out yourself.
Seriously, we get to this point in our relationship, and we have our normal daily tasks that have to be done. So Chris is really good at doing the dishes because has
checking my grinder account.
Oh, don't check your grinder.
Basically, every time I saw a dish, whether it was 2 dishes or 15, I had to do them. Any clutters will trigger me bad things.
Because of your RCMP training, you have, what do you call it? The
PTSD.
Yeah. So Chris has severe PTSD, and one of his calls, he ended up having to go into a place that had a pile of dishes. And so, to the ceiling. So he really, that's the one thing that he, if it's not done, he has to get it done. I get triggered. Talking about triggering, yeah. So at least I know that if I leave a pile of dishes, they will eventually get done, and usually within the same day, because he can't stand it. And I try to help out. I try to do the little things to help out with the dishes, and when he's tired and fatigued, I'll put them in. But honestly, he just doesn't care anymore. He doesn't care about, he'll leave garbage by the side of the bed, triggering me. Yeah, he just throws it, and he just expects that I'm going to be the one.
No, put that shit in the garbage after a couple weeks.
Yeah, but why can't you just pick it up right away? You can do the dishes right away. Yeah, no.
I used to have. So the last year working in the RCMP, I've literally stared at dead bodies, sexually molested dead bodies, babies, teenagers, adults, everything. And I got to write about it. I had to write about it for a whole year, and you wonder why my sex drive is not as high as it used to be.
But honestly, he doesn't give a fuck anymore, and it really sucks for, we have gotten to that stage, like I said, of our marriage where he just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, you can go right ahead. Chris and I have 2 beautiful girls, and we're happy with them.
That's right, we have.
Happy, we're good parents.
We keep them alive. Those 2, I forgot those 2.
And we're happy. We're good parents.
We keep them alive.
We keep them alive. But when Chris was diagnosed, we made a decision that we would stop it at 2. We weren't going to have a 3rd or a 4th.
Well, how old was Anna when you were driving me to the hospital to have this procedure done? How old was Anna?
We haven't got to that yet. You have to tell them. We haven't got to that yet.
Oh, okay.
So
got ahead of myself.
Chris had a vasectomy because we knew that MS could be, genetic. And we were going to the hospital.
Fuck, she was so fucking loud.
And Anna's 4 months old, I would say. She was talking about the procedure. Yeah. And Chris turns to me and kind of says, you sure? And I'm having second thoughts. You want to, we could have had another one. We were still young enough, and, Chris was still young enough.
Yeah, you're 40 now. Yeah, you're 40 now. You're old.
I know.
Okay. So can I tell the rest of the story?
I know. Old.
Okay. So can I tell the rest of the story?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so we pull up to the hospital. We have our little fucking talk or whatever. We're going to get pregnant again. Do you want another? And then Anna, our baby, starts freaking out. I'm like, pull out front. and drop me off. I'm gonna get this done. It's not done yet. I get to the Dr. Dummy station, and they sit me down, or lay me down. And the idea is you had to have it shaved in the area.
Part of it is that he had to be shaved. I did it for him. But he failed to tell me which part to do, and we ended up shaving everything except where it needed to be shaved. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
So, do you want to tell him that part or no? Just a quick.
Well, no, but part of it is that he had to be shaved. I did it for him, but
some of it
failed to tell me which part to do, and we ended up shaving everything except where it needed to be shaved. That was funny. Funny.
So they lay me down, and there is literally 3 or 4 nurses that are around, and probably 2 or 3 of them are in training. And I'm like, I'm cracking jokes left and right, and the doctor comes in, right? The surgeon says, "How you doing, Chris? You're ready?" I'm like, "Well, actually, one sec." And he fucking takes his hand. He stops everything. Stops the show. I said, "Yeah, we were having second thoughts." And then the baby started crying, and I said, "Drop me off front, and let's get this done." So he gets his fucking scissors or whatever needle, sticks that in there. Oh my god, it hurt. But the nurses, oh my god, they were all staring. They couldn't believe what they saw. I mean, you're laying there naked. What do you say, right? So I just start cracking jokes. I'm like, the first needle goes in. It's super painful. So she's like, "Oh, you're okay. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll be okay." you wait. And then he says there's a second needle. The second spot he has to numb. He has to stick this giant fucking needle in it. Needless to say, I hear my friend gets it done the week or 2 later, maybe a month. He got the VIP package. They just fucking go in there and it's one little snap. Nope, hardly any pain. Done. Walking. He's doing weights.
Yeah, I don't know how you missed that out on that, like getting the VIP treatment. Definitely, it's something that you should do. Yeah.
Get the VIP.
If you're gonna go for a vasectomy, you might as well get it done, VIP.
Get the VIP. Oh, I couldn't fucking walk straight as I was going in to get my oxy. I'm like, "Give me my oxy." I can't.
He's such a baby, though. Like, let's talk about pain. Yeah. What about giving birth? Yeah, we have this. Chris and I have this conversation all the time, and it's who went through the most pain. Chris broke his leg. He has MS. And then it's always like, you don't understand pain, but I do understand pain.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that spinal tap? That first one I had?
Well, hold on. So, I've had spinal taps for knee surgeries and babies. Well, the second one I didn't have anything. And that was a lot of pain. Not having any meds and giving birth. Like, you don't understand.
It's a real treat to watch. If I have any advice to people out there who are together, maybe not to. No, they're having a baby. Do not fucking go up front and watch. The nurse gave me your leg. My birth.
The first one, the first baby they did. The second one you stayed back. You stayed.
Second one, I was stuck. Everyone was around me, and there was that fucking trainee nurse that came in. That guy. Yeah. Remember, he looked like the guy from Road Trip. Yeah. Like he just fucking jerked off, and he comes to the door, and he's all excited. He puts on this. Do you mind if a trainee nurse comes in and watches? I'm like, sure. I see this guy's face. I'm like, you're gonna love this. As you're pushing out a giant thing out your vag.
It was so much pain. Like,
Oh yeah, she's stuck. I got to be front row for that. They took a big fucking plastic thing and
They popped my water. Sound effects and all.
it's disgusting. It's the fucking blood that comes out.
There was not sound effects like that. There was not blood coming out at that point. Anyways, it's a good thing I don't see it. Yeah, but that's after. That's after. So I had to get up. I had to go to the bathroom after they've popped my water. I come back from going to the bathroom and I can't even get on the bed. Like, I was in so much pain. My whole body was resonating pain. And Chris is just sitting there like, oh, you're okay. Like, totally chilled. So wait, Chris was already diagnosed with MS at this point. So he was like, I'm gonna relax. He was there though. I'm supportive that he was there, or he was supporting me. He was there. I was proud. I was proud that you were there. He definitely said he doesn't want to be as involved as my first one when we had Isabella. But the second that I was ready to go, he's sitting back, all relaxed. He had a hamburger, I think, something before. Totally chilled.
What do you say?
Wait, Chris hamburger, I think, something.
Oh fuck! Right before, so I waited like fucking 8 hours, the first birth, and I was like, all right, I'm starving, so I got the most delicious jalapeno cheddar burger at I think it was Burger King. Yes, Burger King. The jalapeno cheddar. So I sat in the parking lot. I just chewed on this thing and ate it. It was the most delicious thing in the world. I come back in and my wife's like, where the fuck have you been? I'm pushing her out now. It's all happening. I'm like, perfect timing.
Well, we didn't think it was going to happen so quickly, but as soon as they popped the water, it was like 15 minutes and they were like, you're ready to go.
I had a whole playlist of music for you.
That's true. That helped. That was helpful. A little bit. The music helped. But honestly, pain. Lots of pain. And, Chris is a little bit of a baby when it comes to pain. I know, but
I'm a big guy. When I get hurt, it means it's something severe. I had a huge pain tolerance growing up.
So in the last couple of years, Chris has had multiple surgeries. So he had his tonsils taken out. That was fun. And it was I was not in any way helpful at that time. I was in a bad place myself. So he was really taking care of himself at that time. But popsicles, lots of popsicles. We had family bring over lots of popsicles. But his pain tolerance, he's a little bit of a baby. He likes being pampered. But when we had our second child, he wasn't able to be, as helpful. The first child, he had amazing addicted to helping syndrome. Yeah, he was making suppers, he was cleaning, he was... They should put that... So the second time we had a baby, Ariana, it was really different. Chris had just been diagnosed with MS. And he tried to help. There was still times where he tried to help, but he wasn't addicted to helping like he was before. And, I tried to pull my weight. It's hard. You have a toddler and you have a newborn baby, and you don't have that support. And, I think we got into a kind of pattern at that point in our lives where I just took care of most of that stuff, the extra stuff, taking the kids everywhere. Chris couldn't drive, so I was driving them. And then I tried to get a job on top of it. I started working with a dance school and it didn't go well. And Chris's pain at that time was not good. He was still trying to figure out where his medication and everything to control his pain. Yeah, but that was at the beginning. That was before you even got on like medication to help you with your depression and stuff like that. This was before. So it was before you got like lots of, like, now you're able to function. You've got, your normal day-to-day thing. But we started, it was from that point on that we started being in a different
they should put that in the dictionary next to identifying as a butterfly, because they had to add that in. And if you look at one of my TikTok videos, it's me staring at somebody clicking as what you identify as, and there is 90 different things you can identify as. Yeah. This is what our world's come to. Yeah. So I'm glad we're raising our girls in the country.
Yeah, but so when we had the second child, our lives changed because Chris had MS. We weren't.
Yeah, you were the super wife. That's why I put a cape.
Okay. So
every time you got mad, I put a cape on you, and I said, "See, now you're super mad."
Super mad. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
2008.
The X-ray of the initial break is on the dashboard of the channel.
Well, you should just put it up.
It's up.
Put it up again.
We can bring it up. Yeah, we can bring up before and after X-ray.
And I'll show you some.
We weren't working as a team, and it took us a long time to get into the flow of what works and what doesn't. And anyways, my whole, going back to our pain. Yes, I think we should go back to the pain. I did. I felt like a super wife. Like I had a job. I had to take care of my husband who was sick. I had a newborn baby. I had a second child, and
every time.
But we ended up finding a balance, and now I work just part-time, and Chris is retired, so we're able to just sit back and relax. But still, I still think the pain of having a child trumps the pain that he has to go through with a vasectomy and tonsillitis, getting his tonsils removed. And oh yeah, I didn't even mention that he recently had to have leg surgery because he had broke his leg back in 2008 in Depot.
The X-ray of the initial break is on the dashboard of the channel.
Well, you should just put it up. Put it up again. No, but you bring it up.
Before and after X-ray.
And I'll show you some of the photos. Like, it's gnarly. Like, he's had such bad luck. Like, we're due for some good luck. So we have this beautiful house now, and Chris is retired, and our kids are happy and healthy, and Chris's medications are,
But what do you say to that, Rick? I'm medically retired at 36 years old.
No, you're 37.
I'm 37 now, but I'm medically released at 36. Like, what the fuck do? You can't work in the condition I'm in.
No.
Because I've tried. I've done 4 to 12 hours a week, and they were the RCMP, knock on, I don't really have to knock on wood, but they were very accommodating to my situation.
Yeah.
But they try to push you out by making you do things. Not making you do things, but kind of like, it's time. We're going to put you in this section. They don't tell you it's time, but they know what they're doing. And right now, there's too many members out there that are taking advantage of the sick situation. Situation. We can bring that word up. The dictionary.
Situation.
Yeah. But yeah, what the hell do you do? So I had to find a hobby. Gaming. Addicted to helping is gone, but I still do dishes.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
dishes are something.
I'm back to do dishes now and doing some stretching.
What a
When I get really...
stretching is not something you do.
I don't exercise, but when I get
But we're
super
gonna
high,
you're gonna get-
I dance up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I haven't seen that yet, but
Yeah, I dance and I fall. That's
we'll try
pretty much what I do.
We'll try to catch a clip of him dancing. Maybe you'll get treated to a clip of him dancing at some point.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a great clip of you dancing at my 40.
That's a really
Oh, yes.
Put that up.
Don't
yeah.
want no short dick man. Check it out on TikTok, Latank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good one. You should put that up. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we can bring it up because it's
So my husband
Yeah.
doesn't do
it'll
But
copyright
you can play it.
violation
You
with
can
your
play it
show.
right now. That would be funny.
Oh, you can't play it?
Well, I can't play
So
the
my
song
husband
part of
doesn't
it.
do-
I'll mute it, but I'll bring up
He doesn't drink
me
often.
thrusting,
He-
and then
oh,
I'll
you
sing.
can't play it?
Maybe I'll sing.
My husband can't borrow those.
I'll
Oh.
yeah, I'll sing the "Don't Want No Short Dick Man."
But you got to know that I'm a professional dancer, and then I've got a husband.
But you got to know that I'm a professional dancer, and then I've got a husband that does these little funky dances. You know, it's kind of funny.
Well, you're a professional ballet dancer. When I met you, I had to go all of your fucking dress rehearsals or rehearsals.
Oh, you loved it.
Dozens of them.
He complains that he didn't like going and watching all these things and seeing all these shows, but he loved it. He loved seeing the girls in tights.
Yeah, but then there's a dude that fucking basically naked on stage groping all you girls. It's
But that's
funny.
part of the art form.
Yeah.
That's just you
And
get
they're
that.
always Russian.
Always Russian. Russian.
Yeah.
That was just because at the time when we met, I was dancing with the Atlantic Ballet, and there was quite a few
How did we meet? Anyways.
Ukrainian dancers. So yeah, let's talk about that. That's a good one.
I was a predator.
So
I'm old school.
I moved to Moncton in 2003,
Do we have wrap it up music?
and my third season with the company, you know, I had my routine. We dance in the morning, we have our lunch in the early afternoon, and I'd always go to Timothy's. That was the coffee place that was just around the corner from us. And one day, you know, I saw these rent-a-cops, and we noticed them. And Chris might not remember
Such a
this, but
bad thing to call us, but that's what we identify it as.
that's what they were called. People called them that.
That's what people called us, yeah, for sure.
Anyways, and my girlfriend, I remember we talked about it. She's like, "Oh my gosh, did you see these two guys? Like, they're super hot." There's the one tall guy. I was like, "I know, I've seen them walking around too." And it was a rainy day. I had just picked up my coffee. I had an umbrella. I wasn't getting wet. And
No, you weren't getting wet yet. You were wet when you saw me, though.
yeah. So I was walking towards them, and yeah, you say this part. You tell them.
Oh, I just went up to you with my stupid dorky hat on.
Oh,
'Cause you had
I
to-
thought it was hot. I mean,
Oh, was
a
it?
guy
Yeah,
in uniform.
I fucking hated that forge cap.
Yeah, but a guy in uniform, like, oof,
Yeah.
gets me every time.
Yeah, I went up to you like a man.
But it's not like I didn't notice him before. Like, I noticed you.
Yeah.
But he
I noticed you
finally,
noticed
after
me.
like how many months do you guys do that? 3 months?
Yeah, I think we do 6 months. So that's
3
shit.
months of training or whatever.
3 months,
It
yeah.
was his last day. So it was like he was good. He was prepping to talk to me. He was.
Yeah, I had a Tim Hortons coffee, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go fucking ask her out next time I see her. And I saw you.
But it was
and-
pouring rain. Pouring rain.
Yeah, the rain's important.
Yeah, it is because it set the mood. So you gotta
Makes it romantic.
It makes it romantic. And he's got his sidekick Timmy, and he comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, I don't even know what you said actually. What?
Can I have? You want to go out for coffee sometime?
Did you really just like walk up to me and say,
Yep.
"Do you want to go
Wanna
for
go for some
coffee?"
coffee?
And I
Give me your
remember
number.
being
Yeah.
so embarrassed and being like, oh, "He's talking to me. Like this guy's talking to me."
Yeah.
And
Big deal.
I had just gotten out of a relationship that was 3 years long, so I wasn't really looking for a relationship. But when a guy in a uniform walks up to you and asks you for coffee, my heart was pounding. And I said, "Okay, first of all, let's go over here." And so I,
Oh, yeah,
because you were
so-
standing in the rain. This is why the rain's
Yeah.
important. And
we were taught to basically any type of environment. We were trained to be in that environment without any umbrella. Like you're not going to see a police officer with an umbrella.
no, well, of
Wow.
course,
Yeah.
but I wasn't going to stand there in the pouring rain. So we kind of went into like a little shelter underneath one of the buildings, and
Where the homeless hang out.
I remember Timmy kind of gave you a little bit of space, and I said, sure, like I'll go on a date with you, and we exchanged information and stuff like that. And anyways, that's how we met. And
Tried to have sex in the Jeep.
oh gosh, let's cut that part out. That's too much.
When you're
you
6'3".
No, you haven't even built up the story of how you can't
Oh
go
yes,
right
yes, we're
into
big
sex.
romantics.
Yeah,
Alright.
we're trying to be romantic. We don't want to talk about the Jeep.
Yeah, we
right
went
now.
for a long walk.
No,
had
we didn't.
beer,
Okay,
we
so
had
he came and picked me up at the Atlantic Ballet. I dressed like, usually we dress professional when we're at work. And I dressed a little bit casual because it was a date, but he comes and he's in this beautiful beige pants and all dressed up. And I went, oh gosh, who is this guy? Like, where did he come from? Like, what? I knew nothing about him. All I knew is that he was a cop, or training to be a cop.
Training.
But
And
in
training.
uniform. Again, guys, he was in uniform. And
Not at this part though.
no, but at this point you weren't. No, you were in your dress. You were dressed to impress. And you brought
My
me
father taught me that.
your father, yeah.
Yeah, he taught me.
Yeah.
Tighter is better.
Taters.
That's why I went for the small women. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And we went for a drink, and after I told them, I was like, well, I didn't want the date to end, and I didn't want it to be awkward, and I was like, let's go for a walk. And he's like, okay, so we kind of went for a walk, a short walk. Years
hate
later,
walking.
years later I find out he hates to walk. But I didn't think I thought, well, you're doing the beat all the time. He's walking the streets of Moncton, like,
I'd love to walk more.
didn't even faze me. But, I'm an athlete, so I like to do outdoorsy things and stay active. And I just thought it would be a great place for us to continue. I didn't really want to sit there and keep drinking because I'm a lightweight and I would have been drunk after the second drink. So anyways, yeah, that's how we met. It was really romantic in the rain. Yeah.
It was rain. Was it rain? No. I'm not sure.
No, you're just making fun of me, but
No.
like,
it's good. It's a good story. We have that story, and it's hard. Nowadays, it's all digital. Everybody's on these fucking apps, swiping left, swiping right.
People don't meet like just walking down the street anymore, and that's how we met. Like it's romantic. It's
Well, that's
sweet.
how I was brought up. You go for coffee. You read the newspaper. You go talk to people, merchants.
Chris
local
doesn't read the
merchants.
newspaper though.
No, I
No,
didn't
he
read
watches the
newspaper.
news though. He does watch the news.
Yeah, because the newspaper's phased out now. But there's certain people in older generations that still read the paper. I think it's all digital now. You can read the newspaper online. But yeah, it's better to hear it from Global News because they get it right. They always get it right.
Well, it seems to be all negativity. Like it'd be nice for
Just
the world
watch.
to focus on some positive stuff too.
Yeah,
Like,
just watch one of Clinton Shaw's YouTube. You'll see how bad the news is on cops. Fucking hate cops. The news hates police, and there's hardly ever a positive story. But the union has helped by an entire section that just works on media and positivity. And actually, what we do, we actually go to high schools. We teach kids about stuff like. Yeah, anyways, not gonna talk about the calls I had up there, but I went to a few kids and they were vaping. I knew all about vaping. I'm like, fuck, what kind of model you got there? It's like, oh, a 200 watt. I'm like, 200 watt, Jesus. That's not what you're doing. You got their 18 mil, and because you always got complaints. Oh, they're smoking weed. They're smoking weed. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
They're kids. They're trying stuff out.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're not like that with our kids.
No. Fuck no. My daughter's not allowed
Totally contradicting
to
yourself.
anything.
So,
Guys.
going back, because we've got to wrap things up, Chris. I've got to go teach.
Do you?
Yeah.
I get it.
Our time's getting up. Addicted to helping. We have to get something for Chris to do. He's going to do this podcast.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I hope it keeps him busy. But we also need, like, any of our fans, like, don't hesitate to reach out and talk to Chris about things that he can do. He's retired.
Yeah. Any tips anyone has?
Yeah.
You can
Well,
message
he's going
me
to do
on
some
commentary.
gardening this summer, and really, he's
Sorry, well, I had a.
okay.
I'm popular, babe.
He's going to do some gardening this summer, and that'll keep him a little bit busy. But
Tell him
he
about your
doesn't.
ringtone.
He doesn't like doing things at home. He's not a fixer-upper.
Can I talk? Tell them about your ringtone. What's your ringtone when my phone rings?
The vasectomy ringtone?
The vasectomy commercial. I YouTubed it and managed to make a ringtone out of it. So every time my wife calls, it's how to get a vasectomy, and it's pretty awesome. It's a child crying at first, and then, but yeah, I know you're triggered by it, and I'm gonna change it eventually. But it's fucking hilarious right now. And now I got a new phone. Everybody who calls me, it's the vasectomy commercial.
But really, I gotta say, like, we've got to keep him busy. We've got to get him doing something. So don't forget to support him in this adventure of his.
Yeah, please subscribe. It's free.
Yeah.
You just hit that button. It's basically like following a person. Follow them around, behind their
Behind the
house.
scenes, yeah.
Don't come to my house though. I have security surveillance everywhere, and I will fight to the death.
Yeah,
If
except
anybody tries to rob our house or anything, but yeah, we're all set
we're
up.
set
here.
up. We're set up.
And I'm not allowed to handle the firearms, so don't worry. I'm legally allowed to, but my wife does not think it's a good idea.
No, there'll be no firearms in our house.
Not even a pellet gun.
No.
I can't play with tools, any sharp
But
objects.
we'll talk about that after, because there's certain things like rodents, like we're living in the country, and we'll get
Yeah, I
into
don't-
that
I don't know
and
anything about that.
our yard work and our expansion stuff another time. But yeah, gardening, doing the dishes, podcast,
we'll
and
talk
video
about when-
games. Chris plays a lot of video games, so
I just
if you
beat
got
Resident Evil 4 in 4 days.
yeah, but if you've got a good video game to suggest to him, that he'll take those suggestions too.
And we'll talk about when my friend sent me coffee, Black Rifle coffee.
Oh yeah, compost
And-
is a whole other thing.
So I was triggered because my family is coffee, and we own this. We don't own, but our family owns it, and we support it. So this is like an insult, sending me dried up shit. So I pour it all in the compost and make a TikTok about it.
Yeah, that's
And,
a good one. You guys should
That's
check
good.
that out.
It's an old TikTok.
Yeah, you should check out that TikTok.
I throw it out in the compost, and I take a picture of the compost, and I say, that's what I did. Didn't even try it. Just threw it out.
So, but really, I gotta go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Thanks
your
for
closing.
thanks for being on my show. We'll roll the outro